Brave listeners, let me spin you a tale. A nation of lush, sprawling beauty. But beneath that green, this kingdom buries its secrets.
That must be it! That beast is no ordinary monster!
As these secrets begin to unravel, our hero is faced with heavy decisions that will shape the outcome of whether this kingdom will stand or fall. Our story begins with our hero, Prince Leo, who is fervently studying the crystallized remains of a large monster, a study that only a few adventurers are allowed to partake. Before his study can bear results, he is reminded of an urgent summons from the king and must rush back to the castle.
Please forgive my delay, Father.
How go the Rangers, then? Have you made any progress with the encroachment?
While speaking with the king, it is brought to Leo's attention that his team of rangers may be used as a second form of military. Leo tells the king that his team of rangers is not for military, but the king exclaims that the rangers' duty is to the kingdom. Disheartened by the news, Leo returns to his team and takes the new recruit Thea on an inauguration mission to retrieve nest eggs. While traveling, Leo teaches Thea the basics of rider combat, using Velociprey, Velocidromes, and Banahabras as examples for different situations. At the deepest part of the forest, Leo and Thea find the nest eggs needed to gather, but before they could, a wild Palumu spots and descends upon them to protect its eggs. To calm the Palumu, the party would have to fight.
We have to calm it down. Ratha!
Just as the threat of the Palumu is about to be contained, a new monster appears, delivering a series of vicious attacks upon the Palumu. This monster is not like ordinary monsters, the crystals covering its back, causing it to be aggressive. This monster is feral. With the feral Chotacabra now defeated, Leo and Thea take the eggs back to base, welcoming Palumu of their own into the world. With the royal meeting around the corner, Simon asks Leo to go scout the outer wall that separates Vermeil and Azuria. As they reach an outlook, they look out to the wall and can see battalions of Vermeil's monsters stationed outside the wall, preparing for war.
This is terrible.
This spells trouble if the two kingdoms were to go to war. But before being able to report to the king, the sound of heavy footsteps is heard nearby. Simon and Leo sneak around to where the sounds can be heard, and upon their discovery, a riderless Glavenus that came from the Vermeil borders, clad in armor, engineered for war.
Could it have been separated from them somehow?
To prevent the damage this uncontrollable monster could cause to the nearby Azurian population, Simon and Leo engage the monster.
And for Zani!
With the Glavenus situation under control, Leo begins inspecting the Glavenus, noticing that its body looks to be altered in some way. But this moment is cut short as Simon insists the prince return to the castle right away for his royal meeting.
I'm not asking.
Right. Let's get going.
The royal meeting is about to be underway as nobles from the kingdom of Vermeil begin approaching the bridge of the castle.
How long has it been?
Entirely too long, Your Grace. And might I say how grateful we are to be granted today's audience.
No need for such formalities. Let me introduce my son.
Pleasure to meet you.
The pleasure is mine, Your Highness. I am known as Feral, a humble representative of Queen Clarissa of Vermeil. And may I introduce Her Queen Majesty's younger sister.
I have come on Her Majesty's behalf. My name is Eleanor. Pleased to make your acquaintance.
Well met, young princess.
I'm delighted to make yours as well.
Vermeil faces an unprecedented crisis. Our kingdoms must come together if we wish to survive it. An expedition across the Meridian. Our homecoming beyond the Meridian. The Sacrosanctum.
The Sacrosanctum no longer exists. All that lies beyond the Meridian is forbidden ground. Even the attempt will be regarded as trespass.
I beg you, please reconsider.
Our answer is unchanged.
We are prepared for this eventuality.
Prepared? How so?
We have no intention of silently waiting for the executioner's axe. So we took preparations. If you insist that we substantiate our resolve by force, then we shall oblige.
As discussion between the two kingdoms turns to declarations of war, Princess Eleanor takes the lead and offers King Arkan a new proposal to stay both kingdoms' hands and establish a neutral ground.
I would ask, if I may, to have you consider another proposal, Your Grace. Until you decide to relent, I will stay here in Azuria.
You would offer yourself to us as a hostage?
If you are to attempt any strong-arm tactic while I'm here, my life will immediately be forfeit, you see.
We're leaving.
The meeting has ended, and Leo has been tasked as escort to Eleanor.
Wait, her escort?
Leo brings Eleanor over to the Rangers to introduce her, but she's not welcomed openly. They perceive her to be a spy or an assassin in disguise. To win the trust of the Rangers, Eleanor accompanies Leo on a mission to recover an endangered species egg for habitat restoration, but this kind of mission can only be done at night, when monsters are more dangerous and invasive species are known to prowl certain locales. Before reaching the endangered species area, the Rangers attempt to set up camp on a nearby clearing. But danger looms from every corner as a feral monster attacks the party. Leo and Eleanor must take on this creature alone if they are to make camp for the night.
Then let's take care of it.
With the feral monster dealt with and camp set, everything is ready and the Rangers need only wait till nightfall to continue. However, Leo takes the time to congratulate Eleanor as this act of bravery has allowed her to gain trust with Leo and the Rangers. It is here that Leo learns why Vermeil is so set on crossing the Meridian, even if it means committing acts of transgression. The lands of Meridian are infected with a terrible miasma that has prevented nearly all crops from growing and causing many of their population to suffer in starvation and loss. Eleanor explains how they believe an answer to their problem lies just beyond the Meridian and past the Sacrosanctum, and that Vermeil is willing to do whatever is needed to claim it as being driven in a corner. This is their only option left. Leo now understands the situation better, as before this he had no knowledge of the events that plagued them. After this conversation happens, everyone prepares for nightfall so they may finish the mission and report back. As the party enters the nesting ground, they discover that an invasive young Garuga is prowling the area and poses a danger to the mission's success. A plan is brewed to repel the invasive monster back into its den to reclaim the endangered species egg from there. But this is not a simple task, as these monsters are much stronger than anything Leo or the Rangers are prepared for. Leo will have to gather information about this creature's weak points by finding tracks left along the path. But if Leo is caught during this, it will spell trouble for not only them, but also their chances at recovering the egg. With all the tracks gathered, it is time for Leo and Eleanor to force this invasive monster to retreat. After staggering the creature, it makes for a retreat into a nearby den where it is likely to have the egg needed. Inside the den, the Rangers discover a monster egg, encased in a giant crystallized sphere. With proper tools and careful precision, they break the crystal and obtain the egg inside. Once bringing the egg back to camp, they hatch the monstie inside. This egg reveals a Rathian. With the endangered Rathian now hatched, Leo prepares to release it, as this is the Ranger's way of repopulating the ecosystem. Leo goes to give his report to the king, when suddenly,
No matter what forces they marshal, any possible assault will be launched from land. We have our Wyvern Brigade at the ready.
Should it come to that, we will also have our Rathalos at the ready. Please inform the Prince that he is to join the next session of flight training.
Your Majesty, do you truly intend for His Highness to take command?
Of course. Is it not the charge of the royal family to fight and defend their people in their time of need? The Prince is a natural-born rider. I expect he will bring to bear the full extent of Ratha's might.
Yes, just as you say, my liege.
Something you wish to say?
No, Your Majesty.
Allow me to say it for you, then. You fear no soldier would follow the child of the Turncoat Queen into battle, correct?
I wouldn't dream of...
No child should be condemned for the sins of their parents. I assure you, the Prince has nothing to do with Amara's betrayal. The only thing we should concern ourselves with is using our Rathalos to control the flow of battle. You'll want to remember that.
Yes.
feeling considered as nothing more than a tool for war, Leo leaves before giving his report to the king. Eleanor and Simon both see that Leo is much more upset than before. When Simon hears the news as to what actually happened, he goes to check in on the prince. Finding comfort by the side of his companion, Simon finds Leo in the stables. Leo talks about how Ratha is not to be treated as a tool for war. This causes Leo to recollect the last time he saw his mother, Queen Amara. This moment was when she fled the kingdom with the other Rathalos twin. Since then, she has never been seen, but has been branded as the Turncoat Queen.
So full of life. Mother took one of them with her and fled the kingdom. As long as I live, I'll never forget that day. My mother was determined. She had made up her mind. But even then, she came to say goodbye one last time.
I can't wait to see the Rathalos twins. Hey, can I go see them tomorrow?
Sure you can. But for now, go to sleep, dear. Oh, right.
Huh? I love you, Mommy. Good night.
Until we meet again, my love.
I must have sensed that something was amiss. Because I woke up in the wee hours of the morning.
This is why Leo chose the life of a rider. It is what gave him reason to become a ranger. He follows in his mother's stead, so that one day he can come to understand the decision she made. However, as time moves on, more questions arise. One day, Leo will find himself at a crossroad that only he can cross. With a rejuvenated spirit, Leo and Simon set out to handle a recent problem pertaining to a pack of feral monsters on the outskirts of the kingdom. Leo and Simon follow what looks like tracks from multiple feral monsters. However, it seems that there is a fork in the path. Both of them choose to take independent paths and send a signal if anything were to happen.
Look, over there.
What happened to it? And why here?
Yeah. This isn't right. Maybe... Above us!
An ambush from two feral velocidromes puts Leo in a situation that demands support. He lets out a signal for Simon to hear, but after a moment, nothing is returned. Leo now has to buy time as he waits for any form of aid.
This isn't good. Don't joist them. We'll handle this solo.
Very well done.
Just as Leo fends off the velocidromes, before he has a chance to recover, a blue feral Gypceros appears, descending upon him. Tired and already wounded from the first battle, he now has to handle a second feral monster.
Was this some sort of trap? No. What'd be the point?
Just as the Gypceros is about to attack, Simon shows up just in time to save Leo.
Sorry about that. You okay?
There you are. Glad you're alright.
With the feral situation finally over, Simon and Leo have a chance to rest. They notice that the area they are in is the same one when they first met each other many years ago. Leo and Simon treat each other like brothers, and have always looked out for one another in this way.
Listen, you should really succeed the throne. I know it's the last thing you want, but a ruler as kind as you would ensure peace for a generation, maybe even longer. I just know it.
Do you really think so? Well, if I did ever become king, my first action would be to appoint my dear friend Simon as my trusted chancellor.
I accept, Your Grace.
Sorry, you're right. Let's go.
Hey, tell me,
Tell you what?
why did you try to fight on your own? You know you could have gotten away.
If I ran, it could have come after you. And there was no way I was going to let that happen.
That's pretty much what I thought you'd say. You really are a piece of work, you know that?
As time passes, both of them return to base to report their success. However, the trouble did not end there.
It couldn't be.
Enemy attack! The beacon's been lit!
Dispatch the Wyvern Brigade.
Half of the brigade is at the border. They were sent to confirm reports of suspicious Vermilion activity, Your Grace.
We were deceived. Then we must dispatch the Rangers.
Yes, sir.
I can't be a passive observer. Not while lives are on the line.
It's time.
I'm coming with you.
I'm not gonna stop you, but you're sharing my ride. I can't let you bring your own monster.
Something's hammering away. No, lots of somethings.
What's going on?
Hold on tight!
Here they come.
As Vermilion soldiers come barreling through the outer wall, the Azurian soldiers hold the line, sending ballista to slow their advance.
Reload, come on! Hurry! We're too late.
Damn it. They've already broken through the wall.
You crazy!
Leo accelerates towards the conflict, preparing a fireball to be launched directly in the center of the opposing armies, putting both sides to a halt.
Enough of this!
Leo now stands between both armies, wanting to prevent either side from conflict, but the sound of a sword slashing through the wall silences both sides. Just like the one before, 2 Glavenus come through the wreckage, and just as the first one looked altered, so too did these.
Don't falter! Attack! We've got no other choice! Push them back! No! I must stop this!
As the Glavenus fall, it seems that the Vermeil army's morale is faltering as they begin retreating. With sheer confidence, the Azurian soldiers give chase. But something feels off about the retreat.
That was way too easy. Is that all they've got?
Only landbound units remain! Don't let a single one escape!
Let's go!
All those soldiers are marching to their deaths.
A feeling of similarity begins to come through Leo, a feeling he has felt before. But before he can react to it, it is already too late.
It's a trap! It can't be. Arathalos! Ratha! Calm down! Simon!
We gotta go! Are you coming or what?
Yeah!
The others are gonna try to buy us some time!
Clarissa!
As they're being pursued, the Rathalos readies a charged fireball aimed directly at Leo. If this attack lands, it could be the end of Leo's journey.
Simon!
Stay out of my way!
You promised me that you would leave the prince alone!
Simon?
If you insist.
Simon! Hang in there, okay? I'm gonna go get you some help. Simon!
It's funny. You really do look just like Amara.
What are you talking about? Simon, how would you even know? I don't get it. Why do you?
You know, she told me you could hear them just before they started to hatch. Go to the sacrosanct